Captain's log. Stardate 150926. How's everyone doing? I'm doing okay. Excuse me. I'm doing okay. Had a little bit of a long week. It happens sometimes. It is what it is. This week's unofficial sponsor, the lovely and talented Cat Sky. Look her up on Facebook.com/official Cat Sky Paige. It's spelled just the way it sounds. Official cat with a K. Excuse me, cat with a K. Sky Paige. Go check her out. This gal, when I first started Prosper, she was single-handedly responsible for quadrupling my fan base in about 16 hours. Much love to this lady. Much respect to her. Hey, you know what? It was a bad week. Not so much bad. Long week. I need a big one. One extra large BOC. Sorry, the replicator's acting a little funny. One extra large BOC. There we go. It's a big one. Paulaner Oktoberfest Wiesn. This is 1 quart at 6%. Opening device? Check. Consumption device? Check. Let's do this. Yeah, kind of a rough week. Rough week, but good week as far as the Prosper Facebook page is concerned. And I'll get into that here shortly. Ooh, 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 ooh. Just a little excessive. But hey, you know what? It'll calm down with time. I got plenty of it. Kapla! Take some of that head down a little bit. Who knows? Maybe I'll get a chance to actually taste the beer here in a little bit. Alright. Birthday greetings so far. Got to start it out the right way. That is the right way here on Prosper. Birthday greetings. I knew this man when I was living in jolly old England. The man, the legend, Matt Mad Dog Becker. Matt, what's up, man? How you doing? How's retired life treating you? Hope all is well. I hope you enjoyed you at least. Maybe not one of these, but something like this on your birthday. Matt, it was a pleasure working with you in England. And you know what? Hope I get to see you again. Ooh, that's pretty good. Let's see if I can finish this thing off. Oh, yeah, there we go. There we go. Just needed to calm it down a little bit. Hey, you know what? It happens. Next on the list. Now, I haven't met you in person. I hope I get to someday soon. I know I'm going to butcher it. I almost always do. Leah Simone. Cymone. If I got it right, let me know. If I got it wrong, let me know too. I want to try to get it right. But hey, Leah, living in good old Germany now. I hope things are going well for you. I hope you had a happy birthday. Hope Ken spoiled you like you should be. You know what? To the two of you, let's drink. Alright. Next on the list. You know what? I actually know her here. Met her around... Was it Christmas time I met you? I think it was. Heather Consola. Heather, I hope you had that baby. I really do. Man, I don't know what it is, but it seems like everybody I know, or a lot of people I know right now are pregnant. I'm not going to say everybody, but a lot of people. Excuse me. Either pregnant or having babies. Or have had babies recently. But hey, Heather, I hope you had a happy birthday. I hope it was a good one. I hope you had that baby. And I drink to you. Next on the list, gal I went to school with. Grew up with her. Good kid. All around good egg. Brandi Shiverdecker. Brandi, I hope you had a good birthday. I hope life's treating you well. How are you doing? You know what? Hit me up sometime. Please do. Hit me up. Let me know how you're doing. Excuse me. And I'll drink to you. Alright. Next on the list. I knew him in England. Then I knew him here at Earth Station Okinawa. Now, he's back in England. I'm talking about Jordan Smith. Man, did you love England so much you just wanted to go back? Don't blame you. It's a nice place. Some of the people, but it's a nice place. I enjoyed it there. My friend, to you, I drink and I wish you a happy birthday. Alright, next up on the list. This guy actually appeared on a podcast not once, but twice. He appeared on the Network podcast talking about wrestling. George Seckman. He's actually living up on mainland Japan right now. But hey, George, I hope I get the chance to meet you someday. Thank you so much for the plug you put out there on the network. Hey, you know what? To you, what the hell? The Prosper salute. And I drink. Alright. Next on the list. Now, this gal was actually involved behind the scenes with Star Trek. Yes, she was. I'm talking about the lovely, talented Denise Okuda. During her time in Star Trek, she served as the scenic artist for Deep Space Nine and Enterprise, as well as the movies Generations and Nemesis, and she was also the computer and video supervisor the entire run of Star Trek Voyager. Denise, my dear, how are you doing? I hope you're doing great. I hope Mike spoils you tomorrow on your birthday. Hey, you know what? I don't know if you drink or not, but I'll drink one for you. Why not? What the heck? And finally, to round it all out, my cousin through marriage, Eric Clevenger. Eric, man, what is going on? How are you doing? I hope you had a good birthday. Or, excuse me, I hope you're going to have a good birthday. I hope Sarah spoils the crap out of you. Hey, let's drink. Birthdays. Done. Now, I have some important landmarks to some people. The first two additional greetings. Gotta throw it out there. Today, she's celebrating her 4-year anniversary with her husband. Stephanie Hunt, I know you're here. Steph, congratulations to you and your husband. Just another 71 more years or so before y'all can cash it in if you want. But please don't. You know what? People throw marriages away nowadays. I don't want to see you guys become one of those. And hey, definitely, congratulations to you. The Prosper salute. And I drink to you. And next on the list, couple I knew here. Awesome neighbors, awesome friends. These two just recently brought their son Isaac into the world. The thing about that is, I know she did all the hard work, and he was around for the fun. Right. No, I kid. Marshall and Paige Rochford. You know, I still have a Rochford in the fridge. I almost drank it, but no. After this week, I needed the big boy. Marshall, Paige, congratulations to you two on the birth of your son, Isaac. Excuse me. I am very certain that Michael is going to make an awesome big brother. I am very certain of it. And you know what? I'll drink to the entire Rochford family. All right. Now, before we go any further, before we go into any more greetings, I want to bring out Identify This. This is what I had this week for Identify This. Unfortunately, nobody got them. Here was the first entry for the week. I wanted to know the time frame. I also would have accepted the series and season. Whew, excuse me. This is the Starfleet Type 2 Phaser Dustbuster variant, as it was called. I was looking for the Next Generation Season 1 and Season 2, circa 2364 through 2365. I would have accepted either one. This weapon also made an appearance in Identity Crisis. Excuse me. Being worn by a then Ensign Geordie LaForge. Speaking of Ensign LaForge, should I say Captain LaForge, the next entry this week for Identify This, I wanted you all to identify the episode. Apparently I don't have many Voyager fans that follow the page. This still of Captain LaForge of the Starship Challenger came from the Voyager episode Timeless, which happens to be my favorite Voyager episode and was the 100th episode of Star Trek Voyager. I'm not going to get too far into that. I will save that for a later time. And finally, I have a stumper. This one was a stumper. People did chime in on it, but nobody guessed who it was. I wanted you to identify the actress. The actress. The lovely and talented T.L. Coco. Tracy Coco. You've seen her a lot in The Next Generation. You even saw her in First Contact if you were paying attention. She likes the Paige, folks. She liked Prosper. She liked the Paige. Tracy, I'm going to give you some love. In fact, I want to take a moment and I want to, I want to extend to you and to everybody that's had something to do with Star Trek, and you and Denise actually, both in front of and behind the camera. It was because of everybody's hard work, dedication, both, like I said, both in front of and behind the camera, and your love for putting out a good product that has made Star Trek what it is today. And on behalf of all the loyal fans, I want to thank you all for your hard work. I mean that from the bottom of my heart. I really do. To you guys, I'm going to go ahead and throw it out there. Everybody deserves this. Deserves the Prosper salute. And I'm going to drink to everybody. Thank you all for your participation and your devotion to Star Trek. All right. Get back on course. All right. That does it for Identify This for the week. I mentioned some podcasts earlier. I mentioned on the network. So I'm going to go ahead and give a greeting to a couple more podcasts and their talent. First off, Bill Smith, Dan Davidson. If you don't know these names yet, then you're obviously not subscribed to the Trek Geeks podcast. I actually heard of these guys through the Synthaholics. Bill, Dan, I've talked to you a few times. I've talked to you off and on. I've listened to your podcast. You guys are good. You guys are very good. You guys are very good at what you do. I like the sound editing, everything. You guys are good. Synthaholics, you guys are good too. If you use social media right, which I believe is to bring good people to the attention of other good people, that way they can help out other good people, which is what I'm trying to do here. You all are awesome at what you do with the podcasts. I'm lucky to get this YouTube show off the ground. But hey, to the Trek Geeks and to the Synthaholics, I give you guys the Prosper salute. Because you all are like me. You all are dedicated to Star Trek. And you show it in your own way. Here's to you all. Trek Geeks, I hope one day to be a guest on your podcast. Synthaholics, I look forward to the day where we work together again. Alright, I went out of order on these, so bear with me. Oh! I mentioned earlier that I did a push for likes on the Facebook page. I am totally remiss right now. I totally skipped over my 350th like. I got 367 likes right now, on my way to 500. Like 350, Eric Lawler. Eric, my friend, thank you so much for hitting that like button on Facebook. I really appreciate it. I really do. Bring some of your friends with you. You know what, Tio? What the hell? I'm doing it a lot tonight. I'm going to keep on going. The Prosper salute. And I drink to you. All right. Let me get back on course here. All right. Let's see. You two. You. Okay. You. All right. The last extended greeting for the week. My dear friend Jera Becker. Now, I went to school with Jera back in the day, and she recently shared some information with me that may change my life. Not just my life, but the life of my house commander. I don't want to go too far into it. I want to make sure it's going to be a done deal. It's going to be a done deal, and it's going to be possible before I share anything. Jera, you know what I'm talking about. To you, my dear, thank you so much. I give you the prosper salute, and hey, drink with me. Just remember what I told you earlier when you said you had $250 to spend on golf clubs. Buy beer, then get pizza. All right, let's see. Greetings, additional greetings, extended. Know what time it is, right? Football! And me, being the football fan that I have recently become in the last few years, I have my picks. As some of you may or may not remember, I tried to predict how last week was going to go down. I flopped big time. So you know what? I'm going to try to make up for it tonight. And unfortunately, I got a little bit of a rant I got to get to. I'll make my predictions. Then I'm going to tell some people off. Week 3, I predicted this one correctly. Redskins, Giants. Did I ever predict this one correctly? I picked the Giants. I also said that if they lose to the Redskins, I'm writing Eli off for the year. Well, Giants, you still got a chance. Falcons, Cowboys. Falcons. Sorry, Dallas. You're done. Ding. Ding. Cowboys are done. Ding. Cowboys are done. Colts, Titans. Go with the Colts, as always. Now, both teams have young Cowboys. Both teams have young quarterbacks. Andrew Luck's got a few more years under his belt than, what was his name? Marcus Mariota. Got a few more years under his belt. But honestly, the way they've been both teams have performed so far, this one could go either way. If the Colts lose, man, we got some problems we got to address. Raiders, Browns. Both teams are inconsistent on this one. I have to go with the Browns because I cannot in good conscience root for the Raiders. If any Raiders fans watch this, I apologize, but I'm being honest. Bengals, Ravens. The Ravens are 0-2. They're out for blood. They're not going to lose to Cincinnati. I'm picking the Ravens on this one. Jaguars, cheaters. I'm picking the cheaters to win this one, but I am not breaking my cardinal rule when it comes to football. I am not, repeat, not rooting for the cheaters. And I'm going to touch on that here in a little bit. Saints, Panthers. Panthers, hands down. That's all it is. Panthers. Eagles, Jets. I got the Jets slotted to win this one, mainly because of the spanking we got from them last week, but I'm rooting for the Eagles, even though I know Chip Kelly needs to have his head examined. He has totally destroyed that team. There is nothing left. If the Eagles win, I'll be surprised. Buccaneers, Texans. I have a feeling the Texans might get their first win against the Buccaneers, but I still got the Buccaneers slotted to win. Houston doesn't have a quarterback. Then again, I said the same thing about Buffalo, and look how that happened. Look how that worked out. Chargers, Vikings. I got the Chargers pegged to win, but they're too cocky. The Chargers are too cocky. I'm rooting for the Vikings, although I think the Vikings are not going to be able to pull it off. Steelers, Rams. The Rams are too inconsistent for me to pick them in this one. The Steelers, aside from losing to the Patriots, well, yeah, they're 1-1. But hey, you know what? The Steelers usually have a pretty good team. The Rams are just too inconsistent. I am going with the Steelers. 49ers, Cardinals. The 49ers don't have a defense. They don't have anybody that can stop the offense. I don't think they have much of an offense to speak of either. I've got the Cardinals pegged for that one. I don't think the 49ers are going to be much of a threat. Bills, Dolphins, classic matchup here. I've got the Bills slotted to win this one. I know Dolphins fans probably going to hate me for that, but you know what? I don't care. This is the face that doesn't give a crap. Got the Bills pegged. I think Beer and Song of the Day may have something to say about that game too. I don't know, but I'll let him talk it. Bears, Seahawks. The Bears are nothing. I'm sorry, Matt, but the Bears are nothing. I got the Seahawks pegged to this one, and this is the game that Seattle is going to use to make their comeback and make it into the postseason. Notice it just said postseason. I didn't say anything about a Super Bowl. But I'll touch on that one as we get further in the season. Broncos, Lions. I said earlier this could go either way, but I'm looking at it now. No, I don't think so. I got the Broncos. I still got the Broncos pegged to win it. I initially said Broncos could go either way, but I'm revoking that. I'm saying Broncos all the way. Chiefs, Packers. Sorry, George. I know how much you love the Chiefs, but I can't. No. The Packers are just too good. I think the Packers are going to do it. Now, I mentioned earlier a rant regarding the Patriots. And I know there are Patriots fans that watch my show. I know I have the reputation as that Patriots hater guy. You know what? I don't care. I don't care. I don't care about you crybaby fans. And here's why. Because you crybabies, you typical Patriots crybaby fans, I'm not including Josh Baker in that group, but you typical crybaby Patriots fans, you're quick to throw up, my team's gone to 6 Super Bowls since Tom Brady's been the quarterback, but we've only won the 4. Bill Belichick's the best. You guys are quick to throw up the good, but you don't mention the bad. But at the same time, you're willing to bring up the bad whenever another team comes into your conversation. Like, for example, Indianapolis lost to New York Jets. That one should have been a cakewalk, but it wasn't. I know that just as well as you do. But yet you'll throw it in my face. You know what? I don't care. And you all are very, very annoyed with me when I bring up the bad in the Patriots. Oh, well, the Patriots don't have any integrity anymore. Mainly because they've been caught cheating. And they danced on the line a little too close a few times and have actually crossed it. Bill Belichick's gotten in trouble. Tom Brady's got his ass in some hot water. You know what? You typical crybaby Patriots fans don't like it when somebody calls you out when you're in the wrong. Or calls you out on the bad when you bring it out at somebody else. Not when you bring it out, but when your team brings it out. You know what? I ain't got time for you. And you all are all pissed off and you want me to shut the hell up when it comes to me bad-mouthing the Patriots for cheating. Well, you know what? The Patriots have never cheated. I wouldn't badmouth them. You got a problem with that? Don't pay attention to me. It's as simple as that. Because you know what? So long as Bill Belichick and Tom Brady are still around, liars and cheaters, I am not going to let it die. However, I will wait till provoked. Now, there was a conversation that went down earlier this week, and I'm classy enough to where I'm not going to name any names. All right? I am not going to name names. I am not going to stoop to their level. But I am going to tell you, bullcrap. All right? Bullcrap. That's all I have to say about that. Now, we've got some events that happened this week in Star Trek history. September 22nd, 1946. Hopefully a friend of Denise Okuta's, Dan Curry was born. He was a jack of all trades from Star Trek The Next Generation to Star Trek Enterprise. He wore so many hats that I don't have enough room on my paper to write them all down. Unfortunately, I can't give him the credit that he's due, but needless to say, he did a lot of things. The most important one that springs to mind in my mind, is he was the creator of the Batleth, the Sword of Honor for the Next Generation. Mr. Curry turned 69 on the 22nd. Also on the 22nd, not a birthday, but a significant event. A significant event. The Star Trek Voyager episode Equinox Part 2 aired for the first time, marking the first time that one Star Trek series has appeared solo. If that makes sense, the Next Generation episode Chain of Command Part 2. Let me see if I can explain that even better. Star Trek The Next Generation aired the episode Chain of Command Part 2 midway through its 6th season. After the mid-season break, Deep Space Nine premiered, and Deep Space Nine ran hand in hand with the last season and a half of Next Generation. However, about almost halfway into Deep Space Nine's run, Star Trek Voyager aired, and those two ran together for about 4.5 seasons, I'm going to say. Anyway, the 6th season of Star Trek Voyager was the first season of Star Trek to run without another Star Trek show accompanying it since the 6th season of The Next Generation. Hey, I think it's kind of funny that the 6th season there was kind of a transition period. I don't know. Call me weird on that one. I don't care. It is what it is. Excuse me. September 26th, 1990. The British Broadcasting Company begins airing Star Trek The Next Generation, 4 years after it appeared in the United States. And September 26th, 2001, my favorite Star Trek series, Star Trek Enterprise, premieres on UPN with its pilot episode, The Broken Bow. However, it premiered as simply Enterprise. The Star Trek was added to it in the 3rd season. Whew. That was quite a few things there. Let me re-dehydrate a little bit. All right. This week's peek into the databanks. The Gamesters of Triskelion. Up. Spoiler alert. Everything I'm about to say from this point forward contains spoilers. That being said, the Enterprise is in orbit over Gamma 2. They send the Enterprise. Yeah, the Enterprise is in orbit over planet Gamma 2, home to an automated relay station. Captain Kirk, Ensign Chekhov, and Lieutenant Uhura are set off to beam down to do a routine check of the outpost. Whew, excuse me, folks. I'm in rare form. That rant really got to me. As Scotty's about to beam the landing party down, they disappear off the transporter pad in a manner not consistent with that of the transporter. They appear on a mysterious planet in what appears to be an alien arena. Kirk tries to make contact with the Enterprise when 3 individuals gang up on them. Their phasers do not work. Bear in mind that their phasers do not work. And as soon as they engage in hand-to-hand combat, they are quickly overpowered. Once overpowered, an individual appears named Galt. He identifies himself as the master thrall on the planet Triskelion. Kirk and his party are disarmed and fitted with obedience collars around the neck. These collars appear to be white in the beginning. However, yes, they appear to be white in the beginning. Kirk and party attempt an escape which is unsuccessful as Galt engages the collars. Kirk and party enter their cells and are assigned drill thralls, which are responsible to train them. As it turns out, Uhura has been selected for partnering, I believe the term was. Basically, they are to mate, but Uhura puts up a fight. Needless to say, doesn't happen. Good on you, Uhura. Kirk gets his first meal on the planet, and he's trying to get information out of Shauna, his drill thrall. However, before he can get too far into questioning her, it is time for training. Each member of the landing party is given a harness and taken out to the arena. Back on the Enterprise, Mr. Spock is still in command. Mr. Spock is in command of the ship and begins investigating what happened to the landing party. He eventually discovers that there is an unusual signal of sorts coming from Triskelion, but he doesn't know that it's coming from there yet. He doesn't know where exactly it's coming from. They follow a trail at about warp 6 after not having detected the landing party. Excuse me. During their training on Triskelion, a thrall is presented. He was slow. This thrall is presented as being slow in response time, and he is to be practice target. Uhura is directed to attack first. However, she says no. She blatantly refuses. To which she is threatened with punishment. Kirk steps in, says no. I'm responsible for her. If anybody's gonna take the punishment, it's gonna be me. The big guy, his name Klug, ties his hands behind his back and begins to whip him as punishment. Kirk puts up a hell of a fight and manages to make it to a rest interval. During that rest interval, Shauna says his left eye is weak. Approach from that side. Kirk takes a moment of weakness after having released his hands to get behind him and choke him down. Suddenly, three voices can be heard, and they are bidding on Kirk, Chekhov, and Uhura. Provider 1 wins out. Kirk explains that Kirk defies them, stating that they are nobody's property. To which the providers wager as to whether or not they can be trained or not, or if they have to be destroyed. Spock continues on the course for Triskelion, to which Dr. McCoy and Scotty object. Spock reiterates in a quiet tone that he is still in command of the vessel, unless Scotty and Bones are planning a mutiny. To which, once they hear the word mutiny, they're like, not at all. All three of them figure that it's a misunderstanding, and Dr. McCoy says, all right, if we don't find them here, I want another search of Gamma 2, to which Spock agrees. Spock gets more speed, and we see Kirk and Shauna going for a run. They have run 2 miles before Captain Kirk has to stop. Kirk begins asking Shauna more questions about where she's from, where she was born, the providers, when suddenly her collar goes off. Kirk starts screaming at the providers, I did it! Punish me! You're killing her! Suddenly, her collar shuts off, and Galt appears. Kirk says, and to which Galt expresses surprise for the way Kirk was willing to take the blame so quickly. They return to their quarters, after which Shauna brings Kirk a meal, and she goes to leave, but Kirk stops her. Tries to apologize for what's happened, and Kirk does what he does best and plants a big old wet one on her. However, as she's confused, Kirk knocks her out, takes her key, and releases Chekhov and Uhura. Chekhov, who has tied up his drill thrall. They head for the arena, to which Galt meets them, appearing in his traditional style, and begins choking them via their collars. The Enterprise soon thereafter arrives in orbit, having found the area where everybody is, having found the arena. Spock and McCoy attempt to beam down. However, the providers have taken control of the Enterprise and basically disabled the controls. Nothing will respond. Kirk is somewhat relieved to hear Spock and McCoy on the planet, to which he welcomes them to Triskelion and explains that they are, in a sense, prisoners. Kirk demands a meeting with the providers, which is granted. Kirk, in his way, negotiates with the providers. he proposes a game through which ends up being 3-to-1 odds. If Kirk wins, he and his crew are free to go, and the providers will train the thralls to survive. If Kirk loses, the Enterprise crew will be forced to the planet, trained as thralls, and the ship destroyed. Their disappearance a mystery. Well, the games ensue. Kirk has to stay on the yellow, whereas the thralls are only allowed to be on the blue. Landing on an opposing caller deprives them of a weapon. And the only way to remove a thrall is to kill them. Only wounded will be replaced by a fresh thrall. Oh, did I mention that? Yes, I did. I did mention 3-to-1 odds. So between Kirk and the thralls, 2 thralls end up getting killed, 1 injured, to which Galt instructs Shauna to take the field. Kind of a personal competition there for her, not for him. However, he overpowers her quickly, to which she surrenders. Basically, Kirk has won. The thralls are freed, and Kirk and company are free to go as the Enterprise warps off to its next mission. Alright, let us go behind the scenes. The original title was The Gamesters of Pentathlon on the first draft script from 1 May 1967. The original version of the script featured Kirk, Sulu, and Uhura being taken captive while traveling in a shuttlecraft. However, the production staff thought it was too similar to the teaser of Metamorphosis and changed it to feature them being detained while transported down instead. Dick Crockett, it says Dick Crockett, who appeared in the episode as an Andorian, was stunt coordinator for this episode. Robert C. Johnson, voice of one of the providers, was one of America's most famous voices for a few years. He was the tape-recorded voice that gave the Impossible Missions Force its assignments at the beginning of most episodes of Mission Impossible. Mission Impossible was filmed next door to the Star Trek set, and actors from the series would often wander over to see what was happening on the Enterprise. Johnson previously did voice work on the first Star Trek pilot, The Cage. The first draft of this episode featured George Takei rather than Walter Koenig. However, Takei was away on location. Takei was away on location. I rhymed. Okay, I'll quit. For the filming of The Green Berets, and was unable to return to Los Angeles to make the appearance due to complications on the set. Much to Takei's disappointment, he did not appear in this episode. The ruins that Kirk and Shauna encounter while jogging were recycled from the planet's surface in The Man Trap. The Janus 6 mining station backdrop painting from The Devil in the Dark is reused in the scene under the surface of Triskelion. The top of Lazarus' ship from The Alternative Factor was recycled as the glass bubble that encases the providers. The daggers from Mirror Mirror were used by the Drill Thralls. This episode was parodied in The Simpsons episode Deep Space Homer. And in the Futurama episode Where No Fan Has Gone Before, Quatloos were used as points in the trivia content. Made it through that one. Like I said, I had a rough week. You know what? Let's take it home. Folks, I want to take an opportunity to thank you, as always, for inviting me into your homes via YouTube or Facebook, or however you watch me on whatever device. As always, I thank you for your support. I thank you for having me into your home. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to make like the Enterprise and warp out. Everybody take care. Have an awesome night or day. Don't do anything I wouldn't do, and if you do, name it after me. Don't Don't drink and drive because you might spill your drink. More importantly, you might kill yourself or somebody else. Drinking and driving is dumber than being a Babylon 5 fan. And what's worse than that is rooting for cheating bastards like New England Patriots. Things like that are highly illogical, and I will not make time for them. Ladies and gentlemen, I wish you all to live long and prosper. Devoid of life as the brain cells of the average Babylon 5 fan.